Eden is such a good example of a godly wife. And, well, I know, because I've got one too. Welcome to The Snipe Life, where we look at creativity through the lens of Christianity. And today we're going to be looking at The Chosen Season 1, Episode 2, a very specific scene between Simon Peter, and his wife, Eden. This scene really sets up their relationship for the rest of the season and even into Season 2. And we get to see how Peter reacts to Eden, and how specifically Eden reacts to Peter when he messes up. So let's cut this scene into a few parts, and let's talk about each section here.
It's not morning.
Good first seeing you then. The bread is wonderful.
I know. How's fishing?
It's fine.
Really?
You're surprised?
Why would I be surprised?
I don't know. You tell me.
So here is the beginning of this scene. What do we see here? Well, first, we see as Simon Peter's waking up late, pretty late into the day, probably around lunchtime, if not a little bit later. And, well, he's walking out already knowing that what he's doing is wrong. His conscience is already speaking to him, right? That he has done something wrong and that he should probably be ashamed of what he's doing. But he tries to play off the situation nicely. How many times have we done this in our lives? He walks up behind Eden and he just tries to give her a kiss and welcome her into the morning. And she says quickly, "It's not morning." They kind of have this retort back and forth for a second. And Simon is definitely trying to test the waters of the situation. He's just trying to go about his day like it's completely normal. He tastes the bread. He says that it's good. And then Eden asks him a specific question. "How's fishing?" And Peter immediately lies to her and says it's fine. As we know, this is not fine. Peter is actually working with the Romans now to turn in other fishermen. But obviously Eden doesn't know all of that. She just knows that something is wrong here. Peter says, "You're surprised?" And Eden retorts with, "Why would I be surprised?" Almost like sarcastically kind of saying, "Is there something that you're hiding from me?" Peter is still trying to kind of feel out the situation and understand where he's supposed to go from here. He's trying to see how mad is Eden actually. And how many times have we been like this with our spouse where we're trying to feel out the situation because we know that we've messed up and we probably have some stuff to atone to. But all of what Eden is doing here is for a specific reason. I think she's trying to give Simon Peter an out here. She's trying to allow him to open up and just speak truthfully about what he's going through. Because as we know Eden's personality as we get through season 1, we know that she's kind and that she's forgiving and that she's loving. And she wants Peter to be the best person that he can possibly be.
You haven't taken a catch to market for days.
And yet you have flour, vegetables. Did you sleep in a warm bed last night?
In fits.
And here Peter is trying to justify what he's done as well. He's basically telling her, well, you have everything you need. Why would you worry about what I'm doing? Just let me do what I'm going to do. And you can have all the bread that you need, all the flour that you need. You have vegetables. What are you talking about? What else would you need? But obviously, this is just a way of covering up what he knows is wrong in his own heart as well.
Why are you baiting me?
I don't understand what's happening.
Nothing is
You don't
happening.
sell to market. Your hours are upside down. And your face is frozen in worry. Don't tell me nothing is happening.
We're in a challenging season right now. I just need to work hard to get through it, and I'll get caught up tonight, and I'll be right on the way.
Tonight? What do you mean?
I'm not happy about this either. I need to work tonight
You
so that
need to work on Shabbat.
it's a special circumstance. I can't get into it right now. Andrew will be here for dinner as normal, and I'll just be gone for a few hours.
Oh, well, would you like me to fix you a Shabbat plate to take with you?
Listen, love, I know this is
Don't
not
listen,
ideal.
love me. I'm not a child.
The couple starts to open up more. Simon Peter says, "Why are you baiting me?" And Eden immediately just begins to spill it all out. She's basically saying, there's something wrong here. You need to tell me what's going on. What is happening? You haven't brought a catch to the market in days. There's something wrong here. What's wrong? Tell me. And Simon Peter doesn't tell her. He's, I think, trying to protect her here as part of it. He doesn't want her to know that the Romans are a part of everything that he's doing. And, he also feels bad about it in general as well. This is not a good thing that he's doing, and he knows that. And then again, we see a violation of Shabbat for Simon Peter. This is a really big deal. This is not something that Jews would probably do ever, but in this case, if it were to be done, it would be a really, really, really big deal. In our last episode, we talked about Shabbat, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and do that. But this is not something to be taken lightly.
I just need you to trust me on this. Please? I've got this, Eden.
You answer to God, not me. But next time, you answer to the both of us. Because whatever this is, I don't have the strength for it twice.
And I think that this is the mic drop moment for this whole scene. Eden understands who God is, and that she wants her husband to be a follower of God. And obviously, eventually he will be, but right now he is struggling, and he's on a path. As one of my mentors has always told me, you have two choices. One of those paths leads to God, and one of them doesn't. And so there's a choice that has to be made for Peter here. He's at a crossroads. Is he going to continue to help the Romans and do what he's been doing? Or is he going to come back to his family, follow what God would want him to do, and take the consequences of some of his actions earlier on? I think that Eden is really just showing Simon Peter how much it's hurting her that he's doing all of this. This is not something that's just easy for her to take because she has vegetables and flour. She sees how it's hurting him, and she wants him to be the best man that he can possibly be. A man of God. And it's hurting her that he's walking this wrong path. All in all, I think this is what a godly wife looks like. Someone who is supportive in the good things. But when they see their spouse messing up, doing things they're not supposed to be, doing things that would hurt them, well, they step in and they try to do their best to make sure that those things are eradicated. Make sure that their spouse is on the up and up, that they're walking with God, that they're truly seeking after him. Vanessa does this for me all the time. And it's one of the reasons, probably the only reason, why I am who I am today. Because Vanessa constantly pushes me to be a better person. And even though I'm not perfect, even though I fall short every single day, it's something that she strives to do. And so I think this is one of the reasons why Eden is my favorite character in The Chosen. It reminds me of Vanessa and how she impacts my life. Because when I'm like Peter, walking in a path that is destructive to me and my family, she helps me to recognize that and helps me to walk away from those things. Next time, we're going to be talking about Nicodemus and how he's beginning to change in episode 2 as he talks to Mary Magdalene, the redeemed Mary Magdalene. I hope you like this video. Thanks for being part of our community, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.